So today we are going to learn about compilers and lexical analysis. So what is a compiler? A compiler is a program that translates a high-level language into a machine-level code. So this process happens in multiple steps called phases. So here we are going to learn about the different phases of a compiler. That is how a high-level program is being translated into a machine-level code. Language processors. There are two main types of language processors, compiler and interpreter. So a compiler translates the entire program and produces an executable file, whereas an interpreter executes the program line by line and is slower but gives better error messages. So these are the two language processors that we use, the compiler and the interpreter. So the basic difference between a compiler and an interpreter is that a compiler takes the whole program to translate into its machine code, whereas an interpreter takes a line by line code of the program and translates it into the machine code. So always the interpreter executes the program in a better error message, that is, it gives the better error messages. A language processing system. So a language processing system consists of four main parts: the preprocessor, the compiler, the assembler, and the linker or the loader. So here the preprocessor handles the file inclusion and macro expansion, producing modified source program, whereas a compiler translates the high-level language into an assembly code. The assembler converts the assembly code into a relocatable machine code, and the linker or the loader takes the object file and the libraries load executable into the memory. The compiler structure. So here we are going to see a detailed form of the phases of compiler. So the compiler structure is divided into two, as the analysis phase or the front end and the synthesis phase or the back end. So the analysis phase breaks the source program into constituent pieces, imposed a grammatical structure, creates intermediate representation, detects syntactic and semantic errors, and builds a simple table. Whereas the synthesis phase includes constructing the target code from the intermediate representation, use symbol table information, and optimizes the code generation. So these are the two parts of the phases of compiler. The first one is the analysis part and the second one is the synthesis part. So here the compiler works in 6 phases, mainly the lexical analysis phase, syntax analysis phase, semantic analysis, intermediate code generation, code optimization, and code generation phase. The simple table management and error handling support all these phases. So here the lexical analysis is the first phase. Lexical analysis is the first phase where you can see the compiler takes the input program into tokens, removes the comments and white spaces, and stores identifiers in the simple table. Then the syntax analysis phase checks whether the program follows the grammar rules of the language. It creates a parse tree and identifies the syntax errors. And the semantic analysis phase helps in the type checking. It performs type checking and ensures that the variables are correctly used. Intermediate code generation phase helps to develop machine independent and helps in easy optimization. The code optimization phase